Alright, so basically what I've got going on here is I've got the best lineup, sort of the highest end units in this game. But these are all modded characters. I think the only ones, the only thing that's not is the Lord. Other than that, everything in this is a mod. But anyways, here we got the Halberdiers. This is probably the weakest unit out of all of the ones I have. Here we got these rogue-looking fellas. This is probably the second weakest unit. This is a pretty decent unit, fairly powerful, I'd say, but also a mod, obviously. So if any of this stuff doesn't quite line up with the timeline or armament of the time period it's trying to portray, that's why, because these are all added in by people, not the game. But this faction has absolutely no chance whatsoever against anybody, so you need mods. It's another unit.
What do you bid?
This unit is very powerful.
We are ready.
This unit's even more powerful.
Yes.
And this is a goof unit. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 guys, 7, 8 guys. Yep. 7 guys. And this unit's called the Companions. And it's a variety of different weapons, so I used this unit once before and they did pretty well. So I guess we'll see how they do now. My opponents are... We'll just keep that a surprise. Let's just say we're gonna lose this battle, though. Absolutely no doubt about it, we're gonna lose this battle. But I'd like to see which of these units does the best. Whatever unit does do the best is not technically the best unit, because they'll be up against different anomalies on the other team, because the other team is a full stack of 20 units. And it is the strongest faction in the game, so I have little hope for my men. But we'll give it a go and see how it plays out. But I have absolutely no hope for this battle. Well, let's go take a look at who we're fighting against. Fighting the dwarves. Yes, indeed, this is the strongest faction in the game. And I haven't brought any archers to this battle, so this thing is gonna do quite a lot of damage to me. And it is purposely taking out my best unit right away, which is very smart on their side. But they're going to win regardless, so it doesn't really matter what units they take out. My infantry would go head to head with theirs, but at least I think it would. I'm not entirely certain. But since this helicopter is just going to basically kill my guys until he's out of ammo, I'm just going to go ahead and push forward so he kills his least amount as possible, because they've got two very unfortunate units that are going to completely destroy me here. They've got 2 artillery, and they also have got a unit of flamethrowers. Yep, flamethrowers. A unit of thunders, which is guns, and another unit of cannonry, and some special unit with flaming weapons, another flamethrower unit, another gunner unit, and various infantry units. Ironically, my unit is already the most depleted, is gonna just get completely demolished here. this unit, which was one of my concerns of weakest units, is going to be destroyed by their artillery before they get to the battle. Yep. The last few men of this group did not want to give up, but they were forced to give up. Looks like the captain is going to probably hit the battlefield first, along with the companions. Now it's just a matter of who's going to even make it to the fight. Looks like my captain is going to be all alone there, so I'm going to try to just move these guys over there to help him out a little bit. Okay, so the companions made it in, and also one of the weaker units. I'm surprised they made it in that well. Probably not a priority target for the cannons here, so that's probably why they made it. Same with these guys. Yeah, they prioritized my powerful units first, which was a good idea for them. Bad thing for me. Yeah, that didn't go very well. But I'm going to do another battle right after this. Yeah, so it looks like we got 9 kills in total. Good job, guys. Yeah, and their cannons completely destroyed me. That was a very unfair fight. But I just wanted to see how that would go. So let's change things up a little bit, and we'll even this out by making it so they have only infantry units, just like us. So we removed all of their special units, but we will give them a full stack, just to see how we perform against that full stack. I gotta change this number to infinity, basically. Oh, that's as high as it goes, actually. So it looks like I can't add duplicates. It looks like I can't add duplicates of special units. Okay, that makes sense. So we'll give them a couple of these, because these are very powerful units. Oh, they already had a couple, actually. We'll add a couple of those. Okay. Alright, now they've got a full stack of infantry. And I'm not gonna beef up my roster any more than the units, but I will add 2 special characters, which should hopefully add a leadership ability, which will cause my guys to hopefully last longer in the fight. So it is the best infantry units of my group versus the best infantry units of theirs. And I believe this is going to go poorly for us again, but I'm not certain, since I've never fielded these 2 factions against each other. This is the first time I've used many of these units in this mod. So now each unit should get the chance to actually fight. So for for additional units, all of them are pretty much the same. We got this Lord fella, and we also got the Green Knight, who is it looks like he's on horseback. Didn't know that he was on. He is an ethereal unit. He's probably gonna be tough to take down, but other than that, same setup. I will use this guy as a very light cavalry unit. I will use him as a cavalry unit because that's what he is. We'll see how that goes. I'll go ahead and rush my men in. I'll keep these guys. We'll set these guys to a group. Yeah, we'll just keep it like that. It looks like they've adopted a strange stance. Several layered defense, I guess, on that side at least. Kind of thin on this side, but they do have their strongest unit on this side. So they're I guess hoping to hold their flank with this unit, but I feel like this is where they're gonna fall easiest because actually no, it's not. Looks like one of my weaker units is going up against their stronger unit, so it's gonna probably go terribly for me. I'll have these 3 units hit the same spot, that way they have a good fighting chance. We'll have, oh, okay, they're moving. First of the fighting starts. They send in their berserks, slayers. I'm sure they're hoping to push a lot of damage forward. Oh, looks like they do have some units that are range capable. Oh, I did give them a few units that are range capable. That was my mistake. That's probably gonna hurt my units quite severely. Alright, that's you don't want to group up. That's just wasting units, wasting time. So we'll get these guys to hit here. Yep. Yeah, if I redo this, I'm gonna need to take away their ranged units because that's unfair advantage to them. Yeah, I'm gonna quit right now because that's not very fair. Because their range units will just completely melt my men. So the ranged units, I believe, are these guys. Yep. So we'll take away these guys. Which is unfortunate because it is interesting to see that, but not the point of this video. Alright, looks like all the rest of these units are not range capable. Alright. That should even the playing field a little bit more. And I will actually get rid of 2 of my weakest units and replace them with something else. These guys are pretty high up on the list. Already one of those. I'll just add another one of these units. Alright. Again, probably gonna fail this, but we'll see how it goes. I am interested to see how I would do on a defensive measure because I feel like I do better in that regard than assaulting because I have much less units, so my chances of defending I feel like could be a bit better. Well, let's just start this off and see if they do push towards us. If they do not push towards us, then we'll just obviously push forward them. I don't need to worry about any ranged weapons, so. Alright. Now the unfortunate thing about this test is even if my guys beat this group, it's an unfair test for these guys because these guys, their infantry is one of the best in the game, but their infantry is also just as strong as their artillery. So they have insanely powerful artillery units, as you saw in the beginning, which gives them an unfair advantage in the fact that they have incredibly powerful units with incredibly high armor and damage and melee defense. Yeah, and this unit right here is melee attack insanely high. So yeah, this will still be very, very tough for my men. Before we get going too far, I'm actually going to change up the position a little bit. We'll get them all into combat at the same time, which will help greatly. I'll form a makeshift defensive wall as well. When we get into combat, so move forward here. Okay, get that going up here. Alright, let's go into regular play and let's see what happens. This is probably the weaker, actually this is probably the weakest unit. This is the second weakest unit. But luckily they do have the most powerful unit on the flank, which was... they're not doing too hot actually. They are fighting one of the strongest units of the other faction. What do we got? Leadership. Pop that. Pop that. That should help my men do quite a bit better. Yeah, my best unit here is just not very good compared to their best units. How are these companions doing? They're right up at front, which is good because they're one of the more powerful units I have.
Knights of the realm! Brave knights! Get that old stone planted and get drinking!
Yeah, I don't believe I'll win this fight, but it's interesting nonetheless. So yeah, this unit is stats-wise one of my better units, but they're not doing well. Do I have any units that I could probably pull back? I could probably pull these guys back and move these guys up.
Take the ground! Immediately!
I'm gonna move these guys over to block this.
With haste! Awaiting orders! The lady demands!
I'm unaware of how effective this unit is. This unit's gone. They did decently against their unit, but oh, forgot about this guy. Let's go ahead and move him up and hit the back of this. They'll move their guys in and hit the back of me when I do that, but it should be fine. I'm not going to send him into this group by himself. It's ridiculous.
We serve the lady! Ready for battle!
Even this unit's getting beat up pretty bad by these fellas. This unit's doing a lot better than I thought they were, but they're also they're not fighting the strongest of units. These guys, again, not fighting the strongest of units. These guys are fighting strong units over here, which is evident. What is this? Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, I knew they'd try to push in from the back when I moved this guy up here. Yep, that's gonna completely destroy us. There's nothing I can really do about it.
Knights of the realm! Post haste!
Best I can do is just that.
Remember your vows! We are ready for Britannia! Get to the bearded ones!
This unit should be fairly good at killing these guys because they don't have any armor. But this unit is based on armor penetration, ironically, so they might not actually do as good as I thought they would.
We are ready!
This unit It's just completely getting slaughtered by this unit. That unit's way too powerful. How are you doing there, buddy? Very well.
Protector of Bretonia.
You're surrounded, so you're gonna just completely get ambushed. Pop these again. My guy's the last fighting chance. Lines are falling apart though, so it's about over for us.
Ready for battle!
Since this unit actually never gave up, let's just see if we can finish off this terrible unit that we fought.
A death vow on them! For Our Lady! We fight as frail companions!
Finally finishing off that unit. Yep, my men are running. Running for their lives.
At once! The Lady's blessing is lost!
Did we actually finish off that unit? No, we didn't. And the last one is this guy. He's got basically infinite leadership. So actually, just for the lulz of it, I guess we could keep him alive.
Quickly. Haste. Moving apace. To the suite. Attack.
At this point, he doesn't stand a chance either, even though
Of Bretonia.
it's a strong unit. But we'll just fast forward until he's dead. There he goes. Alright, well, I didn't expect to win that, but let's see which units did the best. Weirdly enough, the unit that did the best was the unit that I called the worst unit. But they were fighting the easiest of the enemies. But yeah, if you want to see more of this faction and the mods that come along with this faction, just let me know. Curious to see more. I don't know. But see you in the next video.